Alright everyone, what do you do when a bad actor lodges itself like a parasite in your website and just won't leave people alone and continuously whispers in your ear like Grima Wormtongue? The best thing to do would be to distance yourself from that group. Silence them, because they're constantly trying to silence others. In this free speech debate, I maybe deviate from some puristic libertarians, so I'll say that up front. There's currently a movement on Twitter and elsewhere to ban the ADL, to remove them from these sites. I support this, and I'll tell you exactly why. The ADL and its leadership has the right to say exactly what they want to say. If they want to claim that milk is a racist symbol, that's fine. They're wrong, but they're allowed to say that. If they want to say that this is a hate symbol, they're allowed to say that. Again, they may be incorrect, they may be full of shit for political reasons mainly, but they're allowed to have that opinion. It's just, you're allowed to have a wrong opinion. The ADL has a great many of them, along with the SPLC and other groups. When that site, though, attempts to overrun a website and coerce them, mafia style, into banning users, as they have with many people that I choose to watch, when they attempt to remove the capability of a person like me from hearing other individuals, or potentially, and I'm making this video, maybe they'll come for me, to remove your ability to hear my material, when they partner with a site and they use that partnership for coercive means, especially when it's based on nonsense, which most of what the ADL says is. Pepe the Frog is white supremacy. The OK symbol is white supremacy. Saying it's okay to be white is actually a racist dog whistle, and things like that. Bullshit. Things that only a boomer could believe. Anyone that's hip to internet culture understands half of what's on the ADL's website is nonsense. It's not even real. When they pursue that goal, to the effect that they want people to be prevented from speaking, they're effectively not using free speech. They're using the heckler's veto. And the heckler's veto is not free speech. If I'm making a stump speech and somebody comes with a bullhorn simply to drown me out and prevent me from speaking, the fact that they are attempting to communicate at that time is tangential. It's effectively secondary. The main goal of what they are saying, or really shouting, is to prevent me from being heard. They're not engaged in a First Amendment activity. They're engaged in preventing me from engaging in a First Amendment activity. The ADL should be banned from all websites. They should go recede back into their echo chamber. They have their website. They're allowed to have it. They're allowed to talk to the legacy media, which is treats them with kid gloves for not without good reason. They're allowed to speak, but freedom of speech and freedom of reach are different things. Isn't that what the ADL constantly tells us? If you continuously defame users online, independent individuals, some of these people, they rely upon their streaming or whatever for their living. They have a book that they published, and that's how they get their income. They're doing something. People want to interact with their content, self-evidently, because they're interacting with the content. They choose to. The algorithms on many of these sites automatically demote independent content creators, and in some cases, we still get attention. Myself included. Look at my stats on Rumble. They're pretty beefy. The ADL can't handle that. The ADL exists, it calls itself the Anti-Defamation League, but really it's the Defamation League. The ADL exists to defame other individuals claiming that they're Nazis or white supremacists or bigots or anti-government extremists or something like that, or they hate Jews or whatever, on a constant basis. By the way, if you look at the legal case that led to the founding of the ADL, it's basically blame the black guy. But the ADL has been consistent in its pattern of promoting censorship on the internet, promoting censorship on television, promoting censorship on radio. There's not been a time, as far as I know, that they've ever stood for the civic values of the United States. They're a cancer. They should be excised from existing on the internet entirely outside of their echo chamber. If we ban them from Twitter and YouTube and these other sites, and stop them from coordinating with them, the internet would be a much better place. And this is just the ADL. There are a dozen other sites that do the same thing. Right Wing Watch and the SPLC come to mind, a few others. There are groups on both, by the way, political sides that do the same thing. Always with the aim to silence people. But where's the people that are speaking up for free speech and encouraging that, saying, hey, we're going to boycott your site if you don't remove this element of your TOS because it's overburdensome, makes no sense, it's vacuous or something. God, if you applied that to YouTube, it'd be quite a thing now, wouldn't it? Because it'd be half the TOS. Yeah, the ADL should absolutely stop coordinating with these groups. You've run your course. You mattered 50 years ago, maybe. You barely matter anymore. Nobody cares. And all they do is they try to subvert these sites by going behind the backs of the millions of users using them to talk like Grima Wormtongue in the ear of the site leaders and say, look, if you don't remove this post, if you don't remove this kind of speech, if you don't retool your TOS in the way that we tell you, then we're going to raise a stink about it. We're going to call you a Nazi. It's mafioso. How is this any different from like an insurance policy sold to you by the local capo? Like comes into your business, you're in New York or something, local Italian comes in and says, well, it's a really nice business here. I really respect you. I'm quite a good business person. It'd be a shame if you had a fire here now, wouldn't it? I hope you have good fire insurance, by the way, because I got a Molotov cocktail in the trunk of my car. It'd be a shame if, you run a gym. If your legs got broken backwards, that would be pitiful. It'd be terrible. You wouldn't be able to work out for months, potentially. You'd be in rehab. But if you pay me, I'll stand outside your door and I'll make sure that nobody causes any problems. It's the same shakedown technique that we see from organized crime. The ADL is effectively a mafia front and nothing more. They exist to make money and to gather power, mainly the former. I don't think that the ADL, I'll deviate from some people on this. I don't think that the ADL wants some ultimate political power. I think that it's a shakedown mainly for money. I think that they're a bunch of greedmongers and they want dosh. They want ducats. They want some of those fund stubs. And they're really good at getting them. Al Sharpton's people, you'll see, do the same thing. Jesse Jackson, many others. BLM, why did they exist? If you look at the founding members and their particular lifestyle choices after largely departing from the leadership there, yeah, it seems to have been mainly about in making a lot of money. Their wallets were what got fat and sassy. It's very funny. The ADL should be banned from Twitter. I stand with the movement, not because I don't respect their ability to peddle lies. They're basically like the Weekly World News in that fashion. I don't want to get rid of satire, and the ADL self-satirizes constantly. What I do not want to promote is their promotion of anti-free speech. So see, again, they're not using free speech. They're using the heckler's veto by trying to shut down other people's ability to express themselves. That should be suppressed. In fact, it's one of the few forms of expression that I believe in not being expressed at all, which is the idea that other people shouldn't be able to express themselves. When's the last time that I banned anyone on any platform? It's been a good long while since I did that. Basically, you have to post something illegal or continuously defame me in order for me to block you on any platform. I get trolled relentlessly on BitChute and Rumble and elsewhere, and certainly the YouTube comment section has been cleaned up now by their automatic spam filters, but there's still a few bullshits that come through once in a while. Do I ban you? No. You're free to post exactly what you want. The ADL, meanwhile, will probably run a hit piece about me at some point. Oh, Styx Hexenhammer, the big Nazi of Rumble, or something like that. It'll be very, very funny at the time. The Wall Street Journal already did that, so maybe don't waste your time. That's about all. Peace out.